What's up, guys? It's Ben with 2020 election predictions, and today we have a really special video. I have Purple Political Talk with me, and I'm going to interview him. And we're going to do a special on the Hispanic vote in the 2020 election. So, Purple Political Talk, do you want to introduce yourself?
So, hey guys, my name is Purple Political Talk, and I'm a political YouTuber here on the YouTube platform. And the Hispanic vote is something that is very close to my heart because I am a Hispanic myself, and I have a very interesting backstory because I was born in Venezuela, which is now one of the countries that people are leaving due to problems in government and just society in general. And I moved to the United States over 10 years ago, and now I am very interested in American politics and all the different things that come with it.
Great, great. So today I'm going to ask Purple Political Talk 5 questions that I think will be very interesting, and I have some graphics up that I will scroll through when I ask him questions. So the first question is, from a Hispanics perspective, someone who has grown up in the Hispanic community, and instead of what do you think will be the most important issues for Hispanics in the 2020 presidential election?
Well, Hispanics really value two major things. They value education and they value the economy. They value education because they think they're very socially conservative in the way that they believe that education and being prepared is one of the best ways to become successful in life. And that is one big issue that Hispanics are very adamant about, and they really like going out and fighting for education and other things like that. In addition, another big thing they're worried about is the economy. And the reason is because then the job creations in Hispanic communities grow, and there's a lot of growth with Hispanic small business owners. And just from my perspective, in my community, there are so many Hispanic small business owners, and the economy is truly one thing that Hispanics value dearly, as it could help not only them, the people here in the United States, but family who's living in the Hispanic countries that couldn't make it to the United States or any or other countries in general, or they just like living in their home countries.
Awesome. That was a great, very thorough answer. And so my second question is, can can you maybe speak to the fact that the 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 Hispanic vote is very different depending on like which country that maybe different Hispanics come from, or maybe what background they have. So can can you maybe speak to that?
Yeah, so it's actually very interesting because, unlike many other minorities in the United States, Latinos and Hispanics, they do not vote in blocks, so they don't go heavily to one party or another. There is still a significant split, but it's more of a 2 to 3 ratio than a, who knows, 10 to 11 ratio, 10-11 ratio. But I think that one of the most interesting thing is that the Hispanic vote is divided from where you come from generally. So I think there's like 3 blocks of different Hispanic voters that vote differently. So there's the people who um, come from areas like Central America or Mexico, and general those areas, and then those people tend to vote Democratic because of just social issues and economic issues, and that is one group that the Democrats have a stronghold on. And generally speaking, that is the majority of Hispanics in the United States. Now we have the second group, which are the moderates that are kind of evenly split, and this is mostly the Puerto Ricans. And these are Puerto Ricans that they live in Puerto Rico, or they live in Florida or in other areas with heavy Puerto Rican populations like New York, and they're very socially conservative, but also have different aspects from each political party, and that group is evenly split. And then with the Republican Party, you have heavy support from areas where there is heavy leftist dictatorships, such as Cuba and Venezuela, who are heavily supporting the Republican Party
Interesting.
because of all these different things.
That is very, very interesting because I think that a lot of people just assume they put people in the different blocks and don't really analyze the differences that each person has and the different backgrounds and experiences that they come from. So I have a graph on this screen that basically shows in over the past 30 years, it's been about, let's say, roughly like a 60-30 split, maybe 65-30 split. And in the 2016 election, uh, Hillary Clinton won 65% of the Hispanic vote, and Donald Trump won 29% of the Hispanic vote. Going into the 2020 presidential election, do you think that Joe Biden is going to improve on Hillary Clinton's showing, or do you think Donald Trump is going to improve on his showing, and why?
Well, that is a great question. And honestly, I think Donald Trump will have some improvement with the Hispanic community for two major reasons. First of all, Hispanics, again, they vote on preparedness, on who they think the best candidate and who is the best prepared to be the president of the United States. And I've heard with many Hispanics that Joe Biden is not as charismatic or he's not as tough as is necessary to defend the United States. He can seem a little bit gullible in some places for some people. And it's just also that Donald Trump has been gaining support from Hispanic communities because he is also going in and trying to fix some of these issues in the roots of these countries so more people won't have to lose their countries and they could just stay there. And many Hispanics value that. So I think that maybe Donald Trump will have a 5 to 10 point gain with Hispanics and Joe Biden will have much of a gain.
Really, really. So do you think that Donald Trump could get between 34 and 39% of the Hispanic vote in 2020?
Yes, so we could even see similar vote distribution as maybe we saw in 2004 if you're seeing this graph and like that.
Yes. Wow, wow. Well, that is very, very shocking, but I mean, it could be possible, and that is something that I will definitely be looking at in the polls and different backgrounds and stuff. Okay, so going to our fourth question, we'll have one more after this. One thing that has been kind of like trending is that the number of Latino eligible voters has been increasing at a very, very fast rate. And if we look right here, I believe in 2020, Hispanics are projected to become the largest minority group in the 2020 presidential election. They are projected to surpass the black vote and become 13.3% of the U.S. voting population. And if we look at this map of the U.S., which states have the highest Hispanic population, we see that Texas, Arizona, and Florida are three out of the biggest six states that have the highest Hispanic population. And these are also swing states. I mean, Florida and Arizona are supposed to be two of the most important states in the 2020 presidential election. And Texas, I mean, going forward in 2024 and 2028, it will have, like, I think maybe over 40 electoral votes, and it will be the big prize behind California, which is safely blue. So, what do you think about this trend of these states maybe moving towards the left, and what do you think that Republicans can do to win back some of the Hispanic vote in some of these states?
So yeah, so we can see this. So we talked about the different party split. So in states like Arizona and Texas, since they're heavily closer to the land border with Mexico, which leads to other places, Central America and South America, we can see that those states are leaning more to the Democratic Party. And for that reason, that's why we might see the left keep on growing in these states, and it's because of Hispanic support. But when we go and look and compare it with Florida, it still has some notable split with the Democratic Party, but since they're also gaining support from these Republican that are coming from these different places than the people who are voting in Texas or Arizona, then we might see a bigger split among the Hispanics in areas like Texas and Arizona rather than the state of Florida.
Awesome. Well, I think these are three states that will that politicians are going to pump a lot of money into, and that political scientists are going to look at in just in the future. And I think it is very possible that after this presidential election in 2020 that Arizona doesn't go red for a while, but we will see. So my last question, and I just want to hear your opinion on this. Right now, who do you think will be the next president of the United States? Who will win the 2020 presidential election, Trump or Biden?
So right now we're in a weird place when it comes to predicting the 2020 election because we have been through 2 weeks of heavy Biden growth due to the civil uprising across the nation and the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. And now we're going to be seeing a big comeback for Donald Trump in certain ways where he's growing with the economy and things like that. If we're talking about today, I would tell you that Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States, and probably because of the Rust Belt and states like Arizona, and even with the Hispanic trends in a lot of these states, that could help Joe Biden go out and be the next president of the United States. As we get closer to election day, things can definitely change, specifically because we still don't know what exactly will happen during election season and in deep into October and September. And that is truly when we see the big scandals break out and the political defects of both candidates come out. So it's up for grabs, but if we're talking about today, I would say Joe Biden will be the winner.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm really glad that we did this collaboration. And I just would like to tell people, please subscribe to Purple Political Talk. And all the Purple Political Talk fans, please subscribe to me. And hopefully we could maybe do a video in the future together. I think this went really well. So thank you so much for joining us today.
We will leave the channels on the card. So if you see the iCard, you can press it, press the thing and go check out each other's channels.
Great.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the video. Do you want to say anything?
No, thank you.
Bye, guys.